Welcome, guys. Just wanted to do a live stream of me coding away. If you guys have questions as I code, usually I'll be try to think out loud and say things as I'm coding. So everyone that stopped by, more than happy to hear you guys' thoughts. Again, topic of the day is what are you guys building? So please feel free to share with me whatever you guys are working on now, any cool projects or tech that you guys found. Be more than happy to talk about it. So right now what I'm usually doing, since I do work full-time, is just fixing bugs for our landing page. Usually bugs come back in either content that needs to be updated, symbols that need to be changed. Usually it's like minor stuff. So that's what I'm working on now. It's pretty easy, nothing complex like functionality wise. It's more like updating HTML. So that's usually what I'm starting off now. And I work my way down as the day unfolds to see what else I gotta do. Okay, so now that it was like six bugs that I have to fix. Again, it was all content wise, nothing functionality or CSS wise, all HTML. Usually what I do is since I'm using Git, I would commit my changes, do a quick message onto what I've done. So just do HTML updates as my message. I'll push my changes to the remote branch I set up for this particular work. Go in GitHub. I'll just do a pull request, merge the feature branch into the respective branch. Do a confirm merge pull request, then confirm. Then after it's been merged, usually what I do is I just go into the staging environment of the site I'm working on, and I would just verify that those changes are there, matching all the changes that QA left for me, just making sure they're there. probably takes like a good like a minute to kind of see the new changes, so I have to kind of wait. Okay, so it looks like in Circle CI, my changes went through. They did go through, verifying that on the staging environment. So I would tag QA, let them know, updates are now ready for them to double check. Change the status back to ready for QA. And that bug fix is done. Next thing that I'm gonna do is work on a multi-landing page page in a sense for our client. So I'm going to be working on that. If you guys have questions too, as I'm working away, let me know, please. Okay. One little trick I use, random strings, generate random strings. See, 9898. Okay, so now before working on this project, again, it's a landing page of multiple pages to it. Usually what I do is I try to make sure first I grab the artwork for it and the mock-up of how it should look, so I kind of have an idea of what I'm building. So that's the first thing I do when doing this. I use AWS as well to store all the artwork assets, like logos, banner images, all that stuff. So I'm going to pull down zip file that has all the artwork files. That's what the designer provided. So I'm going to pull it down. I'm going to extract all the files from that zip file. Usually there's like a desktop and mobile folders within it, so you kind of understand which graphics go for desktop, which graphics go for mobile. So I'm going to do that. And now just upload. Make sure you guys can hear me better. I can upload the graphics to AWS respectively. They have released a trailer for Valorant. Pretty fun game, very strategic. On console, your aim must be like amazing. If not, I would prefer PC. More sharp, the aim. Okay, now I'm going to create the folders inside the respective main folder for all the assets, dump them in there. So I'm going to do desktop, drop all of them in there. Same thing for mobile. Right, so graphics are there. Now I can actually start working on this page. I'm gonna start off again. First page, work my way to second page, and so forth. Usually for these kind of landing pages with multiple pages on them, I usually grab a template of one I've done before in the past. Just to make it easier for me. Again, because if you already done the work, there's a template created. It kind of saves you time. You don't have to do everything from scratch. Allows you to go kind of faster. So that is the goal. But let me grab one. That's the first thing I'm gonna do now. My main focus on looking for a template that I can use to leverage and help me kind of speed up the process of what I'm going to be working on. Okay, it's not bad. This could work actually. Yeah, okay. So, I found one. I'm going to try to locate the folder of the template I'm going to use and start from there. Let me just fix the camera real quick too. There you go. Okay, so I don't know if I have this one on the main branch. Should I do? Good. Okay. Cool, cool. Ah. Okay, never mind. I have two. I think it's its own branch. I don't think it's been merged to. Yeah. It's not merged into production just yet. Okay. Okay, cool. Now I can actually go back to main branch, create a new feature branch off of it. Okay. Now I can dump in my folder into my working directory. Now that I've renamed everything, created a respective folder. Let's see. Oh, I already have one. 8498449. Did I? 8. But is it a program? Ah, there is one. Okay. This is a 2024 thing though. What, 8450? What the? Yeah, I never understood why the heck I just don't do this. Natref? Or why it was never done that way. Okay. Alright, now, yeah, what I'm gonna do now is just go back and forth from the Adobe XD file. That's the mockup file. I'm gonna go back and forth, pick colors of what I need, and plop them where they should. Grab text too. Okay. Then I'm gonna test my changes, see how they're looking. Well, dang. Okay, so it looks not bad. Just a little bit of spacing issue. 21, 30. And that's caps too. Twenty-one, 30, and this one is 20. Okay, that's good. Now I do need this guy. Man, right now, guys, I'm just changing CSS styles, updating CSS here and there, what needs to be changed. So that's usually how my day goes when I'm working on something new. Just go back and forth, a lot of back and forth and changing updates. Once I feel like I'm at a good spot where it matches the mockup, then I would switch and move on to the next task of the entire project. You know, what's the next page, and go from there. Just go one piece by one piece. And if you guys have questions too as I work, please let me know. Holy smokes. This got way too big. Do 20 instead of 21 pixels, because holy smokes. Okay, looks good. Compared to the mock-up, looks really good actually. Click. Okay, cool. Okay, next step is just working on the first page of the landing pages, the very first page the user gets to. So that's what I'm gonna be focused on. Okay. And this is like kind of understanding too what's, you know, the font being used. Trying to make sure I grab the right fonts. Again, if it's a Google font, I would usually go to Google Fonts, search the font I need based off the mock-up that they're showing. In this case, Verdana Bold. It's a Microsoft one. Gotta make sure there's no other fonts being used here though, if it's just that all throughout, which makes my life a whole lot easier if it's just one font compared to a whole bunch of fonts. Looks like it's one, so that makes my life a little easier. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. Next, I can start putting together pieces of like the artwork together. So that's usually what I'm gonna do next. So let me see what the designer provided. Yeah, I had a feeling this one was gonna be a little tricky to do because of that style. Curious. I already had it open. 39. Okay. And now it's just like, well, usually what I'm doing is I try to work from top to bottom. So I usually pick like the top section. If it's a section that has like little individual things to it, I usually just focus on that section first, make sure it matches the mockup before I move to the next section beneath it. So that's usually what I do. And once I have desktop all figured out, I just kind of move on to mobile, make sure the mobile mockup matches too. So piece by piece, I try to do it step by step. I try not to get ahead of myself. And I need this guy. Yes. Can I do this 11 or 1? Does this work? If so, this will be great. Yeah. That does work. 11 and 20%. Okay. What's this color? I wonder if I can just... Looks the same color as that. Okay. Yeah, that was a tricky one. Can I do this too? Ten. Could work. Because holy smokes. That's the best we can do with that gradient. Okay, that's gonna be tricky. See. What the? There you go. But it's gonna be more tight, the spacing between these two, not so spaced out. And okay. I feel like that's better. Well, what I have now is fine, I feel. I feel like it's the right size. This is 23 pixels. This is 21. Okay. Okay, so I got the top part as best as I can to look the way it should. Okay, I do have a thing. Title 243. Again, just find where the heck that CSS color or the CSS line item is and pick away at all the attributes. Make sure it matches the markup. Okay. Actually, instead of these breaks, let's do like 50 on this guy. 60 looks right. 25 is 60. Oh. Okay. Maybe 100. Holy smokes, there's a lot of space in between that. Let's see. Can it give me the... Doesn't give me the exact height difference between the two, which is fine. Try to eyeball it as best as I can. $253. 32, 39. This is that, yes. Are these the same sizes? They're not. Why not? Hold on. Ay, cuidado. I love it. Hopefully they're eating the food.
Yeah.
23:30. But regular, yeah. Wow. And right now, guys, too, just a quick update. Usually what I'm doing now is just plugging away content. So I'm trying to grab the HTML from the Adobe mockup. Like you can copy the code, so it gives you the code, the actual text for each section that you need. You just click on it, it copies it automatically to your clipboard, and I'm copying and pasting it over to Visual Studio Code as my code editor, and I am pasting it there, and then just updating it how I need fit, like how I see fit. So that's usually what I'm doing now. So now it's just more like kind of getting the styling in place, and all the colors, font sizes, line heights, getting all that good. So I can, every other page will be kind of the similar feel, similar style and layout. So once you have one page kind of done and how it should look, the next pages just start coming together easier and quicker. So that's why right now it's so important to kind of get all your colors, font sizes, font families in order. That way it just makes your life easier going forward. Yeah, I'm going back into the style sheet, and I'm just updating everything I need. And like this scenario too, right? I'll give you an example. Right now I'm working on a layout where it's like buttons, two columns of buttons, and 4 buttons in total. So usually what I'm doing here is using display grid, with setting the column number in the CSS. Helps me get the layout I want right away. So little stuff like that to see what CSS is needed based off the style was given to you. Now the one thing I see here that I don't, okay, I need to specify font size again just to make sure it matches the mockup. Okay. And then a border radius. What's the border radius? Set to 26. Okay, cool. Maybe padding just a little bit more. Sometimes I may exaggerate on the padding, but I want to make sure it kind of matches exactly the height. So 52 pixels, what do I have on mine? 59. Gotta go down a little bit more. There you go. Okay, so let me update my padding. And so let's see, that needs to go kind of more, maybe 85%. Yeah, that looks better. And I think one good tip too going forward, like for all developers too working on like designs, I think it's very good to kind of have in mind, give positive feedback if something doesn't work or you're given something a design that's not what you kind of need. I think it's always a good idea to kind of let the designer know. Give me one sec, then I'll finish my train of thought. $21. Really, 21? Okay. Ay! Sei mesmo? No. I can record whenever. Just at the time La Mama was talking, so I'll wait till she quiets and I'll say something so I can use it as content for later. Yeah. Okay, I'm back. So one advice I would give to developers, just to be aware of, an advice I would give would be if you're given a design and you're kind of missing pieces to it, I think, the best thing to do would be to, in a positive way, kind of give feedback to the designer of what needs to be fixed, like going forward. Like, so they're more aware to what you're expecting to get. Um, Again, you're not everything's gonna be perfect given to you, so just be aware that if you do miss certain elements or you need something to be changed in the artwork that you were given, I think, in the most positive and professional way, kind of give that feedback back to the designer and tell them, hey, can I have this changed? So they're aware. Last thing you want to do is kind of say something to hurt them or make them feel not useful. So I think it's very important to tell them, hey, I need this fixed if possible, whenever you have time. So I think that's a good way of handling these kind of scenarios when you're given something from a designer to developer handoff and it's not what you expect. I think that's the best thing you can do for sure. there a border on this? There is. Okay. You guys can't make noise, man. I think I did this in this last one. Okay, good. So now what I'm doing to give you guys a kind of insights, I'm looking to my past programs of what I use. I use Font Awesome, so I'm trying to see just the code I used before in the past. I recently worked on it on a program that used Font Awesome, so I'm trying to reference what I did there on what I need now. It's kind of similar. I have to reference it. So okay, so I found what I needed. That's GitHub's so good when you have all your code changes there. You kind of see what you need. So I need a Font Awesome style sheet to do this trick. And then instead of using images, I'm going to use Font Awesome stuff. The code for Font Awesome, so that's what I'm gonna use now. Yes. Okay, cool. Then if I click open, yes, good. That works beautifully. Now to see how big this thing is. 421. Gotta grab the color, all that stuff. Let's see if this works. Oh no, font family, no. Just the size. How about if I do width 10, height, no, okay. Then smokes. Can I do one that's sharp? Yeah, it's the only one they have, okay. Alright. We're gonna work with that one. Two. Yeah. What happened? What you doing? Yeah. That's right, girl. Oh shoot, okay, there's the whole thing. Okay. There's no submit button, it's just a matter of on click it directs. Nice. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. All right, guys, I might do a quick break. Um, for now, I got pretty much good progress on the layout of everything. Just gotta work on one section with the fonts and text, and then the rest should piece along pretty quickly. Yes, but I'm gonna take a quick break. And yeah, if you guys are watching this and you have any questions or are curious of what I'm doing, or the steps I take, why I took that step, why am I doing it the way I'm doing it, please let me know. I'm always willing to learn from other people too, and also teach other people. So please don't hesitate to reach out to me and let me know, hey, Jose, why are you doing it that way? So don't hesitate, let me know. I appreciate everyone that watches this live stream, in my videos. I'll try to post some cool and insightful content too from today's live, to YouTube and TikTok too. So thank you guys so much. I appreciate it, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day too. And see you guys in the next one too. Awesome. See you guys. Take care.